All right. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Early morning crypto talk. Bitcoin Brandon here. Who do we have? Bethany's always one of the first ones on. Good morning, Bethany. Good morning, Lance. Bill Childers. Yashika. Dan. Prelvis. Mr. Gardner. Mafus. Renee. Guys, ready to learn some new stuff today? It is Monday. Almost at the halfway point of the month of June, which is the halfway point of the year. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed decision on what direction you want to take. Good morning, Benita. There are 4 rules I live by in the crypto space. Now, these don't guarantee you success, but they will at least limit your risk. Number 1, education is everything. I can't stress the importance of that enough. Number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. That should be obvious, right? But some people just don't do that. They go for the home run. Number 3, always get a return on investment as fast as possible. Always. And number 4, where do you see yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make that happen? What vehicle are you using? Stay focused. And do not get distracted. It's easy to get distracted in this space. I do that all the time. And I've cost me when I lost my focus. Good morning, Christy from Alaska. Got some interesting news we'll cover this morning. All right, let me go ahead, shut the music off. And let's cover a couple of things. First up, we've got I was going to save this one for tonight, but for those of you that are investors and you're paying attention to Binance, let me talk about Binance. Let me put this in the box here. Binance has quadrupled its user base since January and now will launch EUR pairs. Okay. The last 6 months have seen the cryptocurrency market endure a steep decline and many casual investors turn their attention elsewhere. But for exchange operator Binance, it has been a period of unmitigated growth. The company, which operates one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges, reports that its user base has quadrupled since the beginning of the year. The platform now has 9 million users, up from a bit more than 2 million in January, according to Bloomberg. However, that growth has not been mirrored in company profits, as trading volume has declined sharply since the end of the bull cycle in December. Binance made $150 million in profit during first quarter, down from $200 million in the fourth quarter. The firm says that it averaged about $1.4 billion in daily trading volume during that span. That said, Binance's daily trading volume will likely see a significant bump in the near future, as the exchange is preparing to roll out its first fiat trading pairs, which will be listed against the euro. Until now, the platform has only offered crypto-to-crypto trading pairs, so having the ability to serve as a fiat on-off ramp will make it an even attractive option for investors. So what does that mean? Are we able to, because you have USDT, which is Tether, but not USD. Are you just going to go straight with Euro where they can upload their fiat directly without having to buy a coin on a wallet first and then transfer? We'll see. The announcement comes as Binance, which was founded in Hong Kong, has opened up an office in Malta, which has passed crypto-friendly legislation in a bid to become Europe's blockchain island. CEO Changping Zhao told Bloomberg that the exchange is also close to receiving licensure in Jersey, where it plans to open an office staffed by up to 100 employees. He further said that company executives have been engaged in discussions with regulators and potential banking partners in Taiwan. Binance has also recently launched a VC fund, which it says will invest $1 billion in blockchain startups and ICO tokens over the next several years. So, information on Binance is continuing to grow. See, those interested in Cardano may like this article. That includes me. So, what's going on at Cardano? Community calls out stagnation. Cardano answers with rebranding. Interesting. So nothing new on the product side, but you're going to rebrand yourself. All right, sometimes that works. IOHK announced on June 7th that they will be refreshing the Cardano branding to provide the community with more functional and information-rich updates. In recent months, Cardano ADA came under fire from members of the broader cryptocurrency community who mostly believe the project development has stagnated to the point of stalling, labeling the project as vaporware, or a project that has received a lot of media attention but never made it to the market. While it is true that Cardano project has had a long development cycle and is yet to produce a viable mass market product, the team has maintained a vibrant GitHub repository and spent much of fourth quarter of 2017 making commits and code changes. While this is not necessarily an accurate metric to measure the value of contributions to a project, it highlights the volume of activity spent by developers on a project. To combat allegations that Cardano team decided to redesign their website, roadmap, and Ouroboros wallet to consolidate information and unify stylistic choices across the brand. As part of the redesign process, the IOHK design team collaborated with community members with experience in graphic design to field fresh ideas that helped evaluate the efficacy of their new format. By taking feedback from Felix Kuczynski's blog combined with new UI tweaks, the team was able to reconfigure essential navigation elements and add information classification functionality such as conditional filtering and sorting to convey progress more effectively. The team has also provided a proof of concept for integration of the Gorse visualization software into their site. After its implementation, the section is modified to provide real-time updates to the community in a manner that is both visually interesting and informationally rich. Reportedly, the tool's inspiration comes from a YouTube channel by the name of Gorse, which creates videos of Gorse. What? I've never heard of that before. Graphs for cryptography GitHub repositories. Users are presented with a three-dimensional real-time interactive cluster graph by clicking on the Git icon on the Cardano roadmap site, which then can view commits, and statistical related to the Cardano GitHub repository. The interactive data visualization tool is the first of its kind for projects within the cryptocurrency sector and allows users to quickly parse the vast amounts of information hidden behind the basic UI of GitHub in a more meaningful way. With the recent update, Cardano's design team has continued its streak of providing engaging visual artwork that is functional, sleek, and immerses users in unique digital canvases that unveil the elegance hidden behind common data structures. I have a long-term belief in Cardano. And that will change depending on where they are at the end by the end of the year, because it looks like they're hitting a wall now. But I have projected Cardano to have the most growth percentage out of all the altcoins for 2018. Could be wrong, but we'll see. All right, let's go to another article here. Bitcoin price bloody Sunday, not caused by CoinRail hack. So there's some articles that came out since I did a Facebook Live yesterday that tried to blame the CoinRail hack. They lost about 30% of their assets in the hack. And then some said that was the reason why the market was bloody all yesterday. But let's see what this article has to say. It says it's not because of the CoinRail hack. When the Bitcoin price, whoa, let me hit refresh and see what the current price is. So $6,775. Total market cap's $294 million. So a lot more of the altcoins lost money, and Bitcoin is kind of sitting at that. Remember, I said the bottom is about 6,700. It briefly went below that and came back up and is between 6,700 and 6,800 the last, 12 hours or so. So we'll see. It is still at a negative 6% over the last 24 hours. Somebody else spotted, I think it was Glenn, I spoke to him yesterday, a pump and dump yesterday. Litecoin Cash was up like 294%. 294%, while everybody else was double-digit red. That's how you can tell right there that was a pump and dump. See, Electronium, it dropped. It's only 1 cent, 1.6 cents for Electronium. Who knows? It may have a big comeback. Veritasium, though, is the only coin in the green. It was 11% yesterday green. Today, it is at 9% over the last 24 hours. What's up with Veritasium? What do they know? I bought some. All right. So let's see. This says, when the Bitcoin price fell more than $1,000 and the cryptocurrency market shed more than $40 billion on Bloody Sunday, many media commentators attributed the decline to a security breach at a small cryptocurrency exchange in South Korea. However, Maddie Greenspan, senior market analyst at eToro, says that claim is misguided. Oh, Malfuz, I never said Bitcoin's going to stay below 6,000. The experts think that the bottom is around 5,000. I say 6,700. So, as CCN reported, the little-known CoinRail became the latest cryptocurrency exchange to fall prey to hackers, who are said to have made off with approximately $40 million worth of tokens, a fairly pedestrian figure relative to some of the hacks seen over the years. Later that day, the Bitcoin price began to careen downwards, taking every other major cryptocurrency with it. This led some observers to draw the conclusion that the two events were linked. Nope. Writing and market commentary made available to CCN, Greenspan said that there is absolutely no reason why this smash and grab job at a local boutique should have sent Bitcoin down by $1,000. I agree. While the Bitcoin price did experience a small decline in the immediate aftermath of the report that an exchange had been hacked, Greenspan noted that the bulk of the decline came more than 15 hours later, and that the scale of the pullback was entirely disproportionate to both the size of the hack and CoinRail's significance in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, which meant most people didn't even know CoinRail got hacked. So that had nothing to do with it. He argued that the decline was instead a technical correction. as most of it occurred immediately after the Bitcoin price broke beneath its long-term trend line and moved closer to two key support levels. So, like I said yesterday, this was predicted. If it did not get above that sell line, I said it will drop down to 6,700. If it got above that sell line, it would have grown over 9,000 or been pushing 9,000. So though the CoinRail hack may have set us off track, I don't think that this will have very significant ramifications long run. The industry has certainly seen much bigger hacks before, and other than a technical price level, this doesn't change much for the path of the industry over the next 5 years. Greenspan said that over the long term, the Bitcoin price will likely be carried higher by the advent of institutional investment in the space, but that this will not occur until the markets build momentum that translates into an organic upswing. For now, the big money will likely remain on the sidelines and wait for emerging markets to build momentum, as they did in late 2016, he concluded. In other words, what he's saying is, between like 2014 and 2016, the market stayed flatline. And then in 2016, it started to have massive growth into 2017. So that we might be in one of those long, elongated, sideways trading things. The only problem with that is traditionally, yes. But what has not been there traditionally over the last 9 years was the futures, CME and CBOE, which I personally believe, what's happening, Lashana? I personally believe, what's going on, Elizabeth? That the futures is the reason why the market is staying low. Purposely done so. They're buying and hoarding up the coins and making huge profits by letting it go up $1,500 and then doing a mass sell and let it drop again. Let it go up to another $1,500, mass sell, and it drops again. They've done this 4 times in 2018. Now, you may not see a big difference if you only own 1 or 2 or 3 Bitcoin. But if you're sitting on 100, 200, 300 Bitcoin, and you're playing that game where you're selling high, where I'm between 8,500 and 9,000, and then you're buying when it drops down to 6,000 and 7,000, you are making a freaking killing doing that. And they're being investigated for doing so. All right, enough of that article. Let's see who's next. Large passenger bus companies in Brazil start accepting 3 cryptocurrencies. Here we see another mass adoption where cryptocurrencies are being able to be used and spent in regular everyday life. So 2 major passenger bus companies in Brazil have started accepting cryptocurrency payments for ticket sales. The companies say they are the first in the sector to accept crypto payments in the country. One of them has more than 800 buses. The other claims to have the newest and most modern fleet in Brazil. 2 public transportation companies of the GBS group have decided to accept payments in cryptocurrencies. Brazil Sul and Viacal Garcia both started accepting Bitcoin payments for online ticket sales on June 6. The crypto payment option has already been added to their website. The companies wrote, in the country, it is the first group of passenger transports to accept crypto payments, adding that the group opted initially to use Bitcoin, the most popular virtual currency on the market today. And by July, 2 other cryptocurrencies will be accepted, Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. At the Blockchain Expo, the Bitcoin Boot Camp, you should have seen the look on people's faces when we said, oh, there are more coins out there than just Bitcoin. People were like, well, what? We only thought there was Bitcoin. Like, no. There's a whole lot more out there than just Bitcoin. You only heard about Bitcoin. Let's see. The 2 companies both explained on their websites that when choosing the Bitcoin payment option, the client should open their wallet and scan the code that appears on the screen. The purchase is completed after the customer confirms the order. The voucher will be forwarded to the customer's email address to confirm the payment, and the shipment, both firms similarly noted. How cool is that? Get on the bus with your crypto. All right. Dutch National Bank states blockchain not ready to compete with banking systems. Uh-oh. They're saying it's not there yet. And I agree, it isn't there yet. Still got a ways to go. We're in the early stages. Recent report by the Netherlands Bank and the Dutch National Bank stated that the current infrastructure of blockchain technology is not capable enough to deal with the sky-high demands of traditional financial markets. Well, duh, of course not. The research found that the most significant shortcomings of the technology are inadequate due to high energy consumption, along with the lack of complete certainty about making a payment. Let me back up. High energy consumption. Hello, Green X. There you go. However, it did stress that these shortcomings will be wagered with financial markets being better equipped to protect against outside attacks. During experimentation phase, DNB developed a project termed Ducaton and analyzed 4 prototypes using distributed ledger technology since 2015. This experiment had a dual aim: building up knowledge regarding the technology and testing the potential of blockchain for improvements in payment and securities traffic. The first prototype involved a Ducaton based on Bitcoin's protocol, featuring an exclusively built blockchain. The Ducatons were created decentrally on 5 separate laptops via long-term calculations. Parties that validated and verified the transactions received the reward in the form of monetary benefits. In the second prototype, the Ducatons were created in a much less energy consumptive manner. However, in this instance, the Ducatons were created based on a trusted third party that issues them instead of Bitcoin. This party would get all the Ducatons, while the parties validating the transaction to be put into the blockchain would only receive a transaction fee. The third prototype included a centrally designed Ducaton, excluding the Bitcoin software, but with a self-built electronic wallet, which stored the required crypto keys for security. Consequently, this prototype served as a base for the fourth prototype to analyze the usefulness of DLT for financial market infrastructure. The report concluded. My mind is slipping on reading all this stuff. This is nerd talk here. Let's soldier through it. These prototypes show that the blockchain solutions tested currently cannot meet the high demands of financial market infrastructures. Requirements for FMIs are safety, reliability, efficiency, payment finality, authorization, resilience, availability, capacity, scalability, cost, and sustainability. If I was in that boardroom going over this, they'd have to keep hitting me on the head or kicking me under the table. Boring. All right. Bottom line is, we are still at the early stages of this technology. When you have a industry that is right below 300 billion and the world is running on trillions, we're not there yet. This is the internet, 1991-92. Oh, okay, I'm going to like this article here. Cryptocurrencies are here to stay, believes founder of Saudi Arabian remittance firm. All right. Crypto is here to stay. According to Abdulaziz Al-Jouf, CEO of Saudi-based digital payments platform PayTabs, cryptocurrencies will succeed as an asset class regardless of the worldwide concerns around their unregulated and volatile nature. Speaking to the Arabian Business, Al-Jouf said that he does not see digital currencies being banned as a whole, and stated that cryptocurrencies have different dimensions and different directions where they will go. He added that the central banks and regulatory authorities are trying their best to ban the cryptographic form of money because, quite simply, it is something they cannot control. The PayTab CEO believes that the very reason digital payments were launched was to protect the financial market in case of a collapse, akin to the 2008 global economic recession. If you think back to why cryptocurrency launched, it is because of the massive collapse in 2011. It aimed to make sure cryptocurrencies and money are protected everywhere. As of today, PayTabs processes all transactions for cryptocurrencies in roughly 10 countries across Asia and the Middle East. Al Juf said that most users make the digital payments to earn an extra buck, but he also believes that the road to make cryptocurrency payments a norm will not be easy. I'm sure you heard that if you had bought X amount of Bitcoin, you're a billionaire today, but in reality, there's a big issue on how to get this money out of the cryptocurrency industry. No, it's not. What is he talking about? In reality, there's a big issue on how to get this money out. I live on it. It is not an issue. You can pull your money out of crypto. Anyways. However, thanks to exchange houses in Asia, well, maybe, you know what, in Saudi Arabia, that might be a case. That might be an issue. I gotta remember where I am. If I'm in Saudi Arabia, their banks may not have the ability to accept, or their exchanges to transfer money into their bank accounts, the crypto, the way we're able to here. So I don't know that process, so let me not comment on that. He might be right. But over here, that's not the case. Al Juf claimed that PayTabs is working on cryptocurrency projects in Asia, specifically to build a framework which ensures all activities involving the asset class comply with local regulations. The entrepreneur is also optimistic about the potential of the underlying technology behind cryptocurrency payments. He sees blockchain technology as mostly untapped and states that it could be used in all... Oh, wow. Well, let me continue reading, then I'll gloat for a second. That it could be used in all industries around the world. Al Juf added, blockchain in its current form is not doing anything. We need to implement it somewhere on our surface. Al Juf noted that a lot of businesses in Europe have shifted to blockchain-based platforms. Similarly, the Asian and Middle Eastern regions will experience a similar shift soon. But the entrepreneur added that it will require some time. Okay, what do we always and constantly say? Blockchain technology will disrupt every single major industry on the planet. When I was on stage at the Bitcoin boot camp, I was watching the faces when I told them blockchain will have as big as an impact on human society as the introduction of agriculture. And the look on their faces was like, what? Really? Yes. We may not see it in America yet, but look at what's going on around the world. This guy just said it himself. It's going to be used in all industries around the world. Asia, Europe, Middle East. And no problem, Mafus. It's all good. Don't dwell on that. So anyways, documentation beats conversation. I don't just run my mouth. You know, I learn from it somewhere. All right. Do I want to do this one? Yeah, I'll do this one. Australian cryptocurrency firm scams business partner of 6.6 million with software backdoor. So this is dealing with security. So let's take a look. In what seems like the world's first revenge cryptocurrency transaction. What was that, Shane? You said faces dropped and one lady said, preach, brother. That's right. In what seems like the world's first revenge cryptocurrency transaction, an Australian cryptocurrency firm is being investigated by the police after allegations that it fraudulently used a software backdoor to reclaim its digital tokens following a failed business deal. As per an information security media group report on June 5, 2018, Soar Labs allegedly scammed its business partner to the tune of $6.6 million. Local authorities highlighted the development as one of the paramount risks of doing business in an emerging market area that is rife with scams. Well, I don't like that statement to be used on this one. We're talking about a disagreement between two individuals here, not something was created to scam somebody. So I don't like the way that the author used that. The market is rife with scams. The victim company is Byte Power Party Ltd., a subsidiary of Byte Power Group Ltd. And in July 2017, Soar Labs, a blockchain-based wallet service that claims to improve transactional efficiency, launched its ERC20 token, the Soar coin. I remember that. All right, it's got a whole little white paper here for this. Deal goes sour. In August 2017, Sour Labs announced that it would purchase a 49% holding in Byte Power Party. As per the agreement, the latter was to set up a cryptocurrency exchange in Australia and center much of its business around the Soar token. The deal was reportedly valued at $5 million, with most of the payment in Soar tokens. In total, the cash value of the operation touched $100,000, with the remaining paid 306 million digital tokens valued at 0.016 cents at the time. That's how much Electronium is right now. On January 4th, 2018, Byte Power informed the Australian Stock Exchange that over 179.2 million SOAR were temporarily suspended due to unspecified reasons. Soar Labs accused Byte Power on January 2nd, but not selling its Soar coin at manageable levels, purportedly to settle the former's debts and employee salaries. In Byte Power's defense, selling a holding of hundreds of millions of a thinly traded token would undeniably cause the price to plunge, hint hint freaking BitConnect, and ultimately lead to realized losses. Additionally, Byte Power launched legal proceedings against Soar Labs in Singapore, claiming reckless and negligent actions on the latter's part and a breach of the agreement. However, despite the dictum and frozen accounts, Soar Labs withdrew over 214 million SOAR on January 1st, 2018, valued at over 6.6 million. While this may seem confusing to many, it did not take much thinking by security experts to ascertain how Soar Labs seemingly withdrew their coins. The way in which the smart contracts were written allowed Soar Labs to remove the coins, which the company itself wasn't aware of at the time until the coins were actually taken. Oh, yeah, okay, now this goes into a whole bunch of nerd talk. Bottom line is, there was a dispute between two parties. One party didn't do what they said they were going to do, so the other party decided to get their money back through a backdoor hack. That's what happened here. They got their money back through a backdoor hack. And they quoted, "It would be very difficult to find a backdoor in cryptocurrency code. Auditing this requires both a security and an advanced mathematics background, a combination of things that most people simply don't possess." All right, and the last article, well, is it? I forgot about the John McAfee one. Depending on how fast I go through this article, I'll talk about John McAfee. Netflix falsely claims Bitcoin is mostly spent on illegal services. Watch who you're listening to. Let's see what happened here. Those of you that love to Netflix and chill, check this out. Jameson Lopp, a former lead engineer at BitGo and a prominent Bitcoin developer, has criticized Netflix. The 159 billion or 15.9 billion? I don't know how much Netflix is worth. I'm going to say 15.9 billion. The author has a mistake here. Entertainment giant for one of its Explained series focused on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. Wrong arguments. In collaboration with Vox, a US-based media company that runs a popular YouTube channel that delves into difficult subjects and produces informative videos ranging from K-pop to blockchain technology. K-pop, oh yeah, that's that Japanese hip-hop stuff, K-pop. One of the most recent explained episodes delved into Bitcoin and the structure of the cryptocurrency industry. You know, the only Netflix show I've watched about Bitcoin was my very first early days. I watched a documentary called Banking on Bitcoin. If you have not done so, and you have a Netflix account, I highly advise go watch that documentary. It's a couple years old, but it talks about the early days, the beginning days of Bitcoin. So Banking on Bitcoin on Netflix. Okay. One of the most recent explained episodes delved into Bitcoin, the structure of cryptocurrency, with an attempt to evaluate blockchain technology and the use cases of Bitcoin as a widely recognized and utilized currency. While the episode did come across as a well-informed explanation of Bitcoin and the basics of the currency, Lopp emphasized that Vox and Netflix failed to provide accurate analysis of the technology behind Bitcoin and the current use case of the dominant cryptocurrency. Lopp outlined the following factual errors in the Netflix explained episode on Bitcoin. Number 1, most Bitcoin is spent on illegal services. That is false. That is false. 0.5% of all Bitcoin transactions deal with illegal activities. Not most. That's not even close to most. Number 2, Byzantine generals' problem is about being able to transact privately. That's false. You are transacting privately. You're anonymous. It's just the blockchain is designed that everything is a public record. But they don't know who you are. Satoshi invented the blockchain. Satoshi did not invent the blockchain. Satoshi wrote a white paper with the instructions on the importance of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. The miners are the ones that's creating the blockchain. Number 4, all cryptocurrencies use blockchains. That's false. That is not true. Not all cryptocurrencies use blockchains. All right, so he goes on to say, the Byzantine generals' problem, origin of the blockchain, and the applicability of the blockchain are relatively simple concepts that need to be explained properly to newcomers and beginner users, as they are considered as the fundamentals of Bitcoin and other major cryptocurrencies. Technically, Lopp explained that Satoshi Nakamoto, the anonymous creator of Bitcoin, did not create the concept of the blockchain, which is in essence is a time-stamped technology that secures information through the application of cryptography. Blockchain can be traced back to 1991, when Stuart Haber and W. Scott Stornetta described the first work on a cryptographically secured chain of blocks. In 1992, they incorporated Merkle trees into the design, allowing several documents to be collected into a block. Technically, the paper refers to a chain of timestamps, but the main point is that blockchain is just a data structure that has nothing to do with consensus mechanisms that may be built around such a data structure, explained Lopp. I actually understood that nerd talk right there. I'm proud of myself. Apart from these technical errors, Vox and Netflix also incorrectly concluded that Bitcoin is mostly spent on illegal services, completely dismissing the fact that Bitcoin by nature is transparent and not anonymous. The non-anonymous nature of Bitcoin ultimately led many dark web marketplace operators and illicit content distributors to leak their identities to the authorities in both covert operations and public transactions. Transactions on the Bitcoin network can be traced using blockchain explorers, and anyone on the Bitcoin network can view, didn't I say that? All transactions and wallets that exist on the Bitcoin network. That transparency of Bitcoin makes the cryptocurrency a poor transaction method to be used on the dark web marketplaces. So, in other words, they're saying, if you're going to run around and say that all criminal activity is being done using Bitcoin, don't criminals want to be, hidden? Yet, the blockchain puts it all public knowledge. It defeats the purpose. They're better off using US dollars and cash, which can't be tracked and traced, than using Bitcoin. So imagine, I remember as a kid, I watched Home Alone, for example. And the guys who were breaking into homes would always leave the faucet on and flood the basement or something, right? So when they finally got caught, the officer said, "Thank you. Now we know every house you hit because you have an MO. You turn that water faucet on in every home, so we can go back and trace everything." Same thing. If a criminal used the blockchain to do something, then the authorities can track that all the way back to the beginning because it's public. So if I were a criminal, I'd stick to US cash than trying to do things on Bitcoin. Because if I'm ever caught, they got me on everything. I agree, Lashana. I laughed my ass off on that movie. I was a kid though, but I was dying laughing. Freaking Macaulay Culkin. All right, anyways. Instead, criminals utilize anonymous cryptocurrencies like Monero, Zcash, and Dash to store, receive, and send private transactions, as the Japanese government previously noted. It's a typical money laundering scheme. In a way, I'm not surprised. If you are going to do something illegal, then everyone knows to use the three anonymous siblings, said a Japanese government official from the Financial Services Agency, referring to Monero, Zcash, and Dash. So I don't advise it, those people using criminal intent, but those that do are using Monero, Zcash, and Dash, not Bitcoin. And, why the SEC should have a debate with John McAfee. I think I'll save this one for tonight. Late night crypto talk. John McAfee said he's going to be running for president. And the SEC have a debate with him. All right, yeah, I'll save this one for tonight, because that's a good headline. John McAfee and the SEC. So, all right, I hope you guys learned something new this morning. It's a bright Monday morning here in California. Got a lot of work to do today. And I will be back tonight with late night crypto talk. Get your education on, people. Once you learn something, you cannot unlearn it. This is the key to your financial freedom. Have a great day. Bitcoin Brandon out. God bless. Bye-bye.
Crypto Gen X.